Hi, welcome to the Mangala Samiti podcast, where I talk about business, life, personal development, and other ideas that matter. I am your host, Mangala Samiti, and I am many things: a chartered global management accountant, CFO, author, voiceover artist, and so much more. But I really am just one thing, and that is a creator. I create content and solutions to problems and challenges. I hope this podcast will help you on your own journey to greatness.
I want to thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode. This week, I want to speak to you about excellence and persistence in action. Now, please excuse my voice this week. I've been recovering from a cough, sore throat, flu, congestion around my nose, the whole works over the past week. But thank God I'm in recovery and I'm getting there. So please just excuse my voice if it does sound a little off. So, excellence and persistence in action. Let me paint the picture for you and tell you a story of what exactly transpired. Last year in December, I had decided that I was going to upgrade my vehicle. The car that I'd had, it was almost 10 years old, and I had spent quite some money on it that year, fixing a couple of things, and I thought it was time to let it go, upgrade to something newer, something that is on motor plan, and something that will give me less headache so I can focus on achieving the things that I have to do, so I can focus on my work, so I can focus on adding value to you and everybody else around my circle. So then it went through the normal process. Search for a vehicle that you like, do a whole search, speak to a couple of dealers, do the whole test drives and everything else. And so I settled on this one particular vehicle, beautiful car, 2019 white Mercedes-Benz, beautiful, love it, excellent. And I said, yes. So next step, take it through the finance process, apply for finance with the bank, and the bank approved it. So, however, one thing that I'd said was, I'm going to see what the dealer can give me for my current vehicle. But the trading price that the dealer offered was way below the market value of the car. So I said, you know what? I'm going to rather sell the vehicle, and depending on where the finance lands, I'll do a deposit using the funds from the sale off of this vehicle because it was fully paid off. And so the bank came back with an offer. No deposit, 72 months. I said yes. Great deal. I'm going to take it. It was the best offer that was offered, that was given. So I said yes. I'm going to take this particular deal. And so we proceeded to go ahead with the financing of the vehicle and the deal. So I spoke to the dealer. The dealer told me everything is set, everything is done. You can come and collect your vehicle. I said, okay, fantastic. So on my way to go and collect the vehicle, I'm going to drop my old vehicle off, sell it, conclude that deal, then go to the dealer, pick up the new vehicle, and come back home. This should not take me more than 2 hours, max 3 hours. And I proceeded. I went to We Buy Cars, sold my old vehicle, got the funding for it, got everything done. The paperwork was done in the first hour. Then headed through to the dealer to collect the new vehicle. The dealer had said, you can come through. I went to the dealer and I met the sales guy. The car was there, fell in love with it. It was absolutely amazing. I said, I want to take it. Of course I'm going to take it. So I sat with the sales guy, started doing some paperwork. Then for some reason, the sales guy told me, just give me a second. I'm going to go through to the finance lady. I'll be right back. He goes to the finance lady. He takes a bit of some time to come back. He comes back to me and he tells me, no, we're just sorting something out, but it should be done. Just give it a bit. I said, okay, that's all right. And he offered me a seat on the couch. They offered me some coffee. I said, of course, that's okay. And as time was going by, something was off. And there's a way that you can just tell that something here is not right. And after some time, they called me to the finance lady's office, and the finance lady looked me in the eye and she told me, Mangala, so I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to be very truthful with you. We're having a problem with the bank. The bank is refusing to release the contract. I asked why. She told me the bank says they made a mistake on the contract. I said, what sort of mistake was that? The bank said they approved the wrong deal. I said, well, that shouldn't be my problem. That should be the bank's issue. I don't know. Everything that the bank had asked for had been supplied to them. Everything the bank had asked for had been given to them. The bank should be able to approve the deal. And when they took it through the whole process, the internal controls must have picked whatever up. And so they should have done that. And the lady said to me, I'm on the phone with the bank. I'm going to call them again, find out exactly what the issue was, if you don't mind waiting. I said, it's fine, I'm going to wait. And the afternoon just then went away. And it got to the end of the day, and this issue had still not been resolved. And I went back into the finance lady's office, and her eyes were red. I could tell this lady has just been in a fight this afternoon. I know the look. And I sat down in front of her and she told me, this is the situation, this is what the bank is saying. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fight for it and I'm going to get it done. I looked at her in the eye. And when she looked at me back in the eye, I saw that look of a killer, the look that says, whatever it takes, I'm going to get this done. The resolve, choosing no other option and fighting for what you want. That was the look that she had in her eye. And I told her, I'm going to leave it to you. I'm not going to get involved because these are the types of fights that I like. These are the type of fights that I get into. These are the type of fights that I always welcome because there's just something about a no and turning a no into a yes, not taking no for an answer because a yes is possible. And when you can see that it is, so all you have to do is find the right code, the right combination, the key to unlock this yes. There's just something about it. That is the persistence in action, looking for that yes. So when she told me, I'm going to get it done and I'm going to get the original deal, I looked her in the eye and I told her, go for it. Let me know how it goes. At times, you go and fight these large institutions and they have all their systems. They're so rigid, the controls and everything else. And everybody keeps telling you, no, it's the system, no, it's the system, no, it's the system. When the system was actually created and implemented by human beings, and there's always someone that has an override key, that has an override function, which sits with somebody at the top. Because if something goes wrong, somebody must be able to correct it. So anyway, gave it a couple of days and she continued fighting and she kept giving me updates on what exactly was going on. And lo and behold, she managed to get the deal, the original deal, 72 months, no deposit, approved. She called me, she was beyond excited and she said, I've got the deal, please come through and sign the contract before the bank does something crazy and decides to take it away. I told her, I'm on my way. And I went through and I told her, I'm going to sign the deal. I'm happy. What are the terms? What is everything? This is it. The bank released the contract and we signed that deal. And I took delivery of the car that day. I sat with her in the office though. And I told her, I want you to tell me how you got it done. Tell me the story. I want to listen. And I want to understand exactly how you did it. And she told me the first day we met, and the first day when the bank refused to release the contract, and after we sat in that office, she said she went home that day and she cried. She cried because she felt she had failed. She felt she had disappointed. She felt she was not good enough. So she cried when she went home. But when she got up the following day, she said, after I had that cry, I said to myself, I'm gonna go and get this done, no matter what it takes. I am not going to sit here and accept this defeat. So she said, She went out with a new resolve, clear goal, and was going to do whatever it took. And she got whoever she could involved, escalated to whichever manager she could until it got to the regional manager. And the regional manager is the one that gave her the go-ahead. After fights and people not wanting to own up for the mistakes that they made and not wanting to accept and take accountability for making whatever mistake that it is that they made, and not just wanting to apologize and say, no, we are sorry, we are the ones that screwed up, therefore we are going to make it right, but trying to abdicate and trying to push the responsibility through to someone else. And she says, but I told them, I sent you every single thing that you asked for, and you gave us the approval based on all the documentation that we had given to you. So if a mistake was made, it was a mistake that was made internally, and the client shouldn't have to suffer for the mistake that you made. And so after multiple fights, after taking it all around and escalations until it got to whichever regional manager that it did, then finally the approval came through. But something from her story really got me, and it was the turning point when she cried. And it's funny because she cried after she had spoken to me and she had given me the promise. I think there's times when we feel defeated, times when we feel we have reached our low point, when we feel small, when we don't realize that the power still lies within us to achieve and do anything we set our minds to. The times when life kicks you in the butt, it kicks you down, and you lie down and you take it and you think there's nothing else that I can do. But there is something that you can do, and that something is standing up and saying, no, I am not going to accept mediocrity. I am not going to accept nonsense. All I want is excellence, and I'm going to do every single thing I can to achieve this excellence. So you don't have to take the negativity. You don't have to take the failure. The failure is only a learning lesson where you can sit back, sit down and reflect and ask the question, what can I do differently? What it is that really went wrong? And in your review and in asking the question, but what it is that went wrong? What could I have done differently? Then you come to the realization that actually there's other ways that I can try to achieve the objective. If the way that you've been doing it is not working, it's time to sit back and look back and ask yourself the question, but what other ways can I still do this thing? What other ways can I still achieve the objective that I want to achieve? If it's finance, for whatever that you want to do, if it's for a course, for your studies, for a new asset, and the way that you want it done is not coming right, is not coming through the way that you want it to come through, ask yourself the question, what are the ways? You have to develop the habit of looking at other options before you make a decision. Look at other options. Look at other ways that you can still achieve the objective, especially also in times when everything seems bleak, because there's always a way out. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. And please, if you have any feedback, do send me an email on mangaleso.meaty@gmail.com. I love all the feedback that you send through to me, and I definitely do respond to all the mails or the messages and everything that does come through. And I want to thank you for the support that you've given to the podcast to date. I am really happy and glad that the podcast is making a difference in your life. Remember, every single thing you do it at an excellent standard. Always seek excellence. Always seek to do it at the very best that you can, and never take no for an answer. Persistence. Practice persistence. Put it in action. I wish you a great week ahead. Until next time.